And that's why I think I'll come back to it in a moment when I think of it. But do you have any other tips? Because I have to.
Yeah, no, but I'm just gonna say, again, just make sure you have your eyes on your pets at all times because they are family.
But and folks, also too, I want to highlight this as well. In fact, with Good Samaritan laws that a lot of states do have in play, folks. Here's my tidbit. Yes, the person's probably going to be mad at you if you do this, but I'm just going to highlight this one thing. If you see an animal in a car that has no windows down and the owner of the car is nowhere around, and you call 911 and you break the window of the car, and the car owner complains the fact of you just broke into their car, and they say, I'm going to call the police, guess what? You can turn around and say, well, I already called the police for you. And then when the police show up, and the car owner's going to say, well, that person, figure A, broke into my car. And then figure B is going to turn around and go, well, you had an animal in your car with no windows down. I broke the window so your animal could have fresh air. Want to take a guess, man, Doug, on who the officer's going to believe? Figure A or figure B? Figure B is the Good Samaritan, and figure A is the
I
car
think
owner.
figure B because they hold the pet and say this was the pet that was in his car that I broke the window to get out.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And guess what? That is a correct answer because I'm going to be honest, folks. A lot of people, yes, people don't want to take the risk of getting mad at that. But in a roundabout way, if you call the authorities, but as you're waiting, the animal seems to have a distress problem and you break the window, a lot of states, and you can go check your own states for this because it varies by jurisdictions and states, but I think Connecticut does have this, the Good Samaritan law. The Good Samaritan law does protect Good Samaritans for certain actions. Because in a roundabout way, you're looking after the animal. Who cares about the car owner? The car can get fixed. They're going to probably go to jail because you took the risk, even though, yes, you took the risk of possibly having a broken hand, but in a roundabout way, you just saved an animal's life, and I think the emergency services are going to believe you more than the car owner in a roundabout way. I'm sorry for going on a rant, but folks, I just want to highlight that, and it's not going to be the only time. This is one of two times you're going to hear this because at the end of season 3, I am going to close out with highlighting this again because summertime we do have high cases of animal cruelty, especially people who are pathetic and stupid for putting animals in hot cars because like it is. Folks, I'm going to also be honest here as well, and I think Mad Dog would agree with me. If you got to take off your shoe, or you got to take off your jacket or your purse if you're a lady, and you got to put it in the back seat, and not realize that I think I left something in the back seat, and then you don't realize that you left your kid in your car. Okay, A, you're kind of stupid because you should have realized it. Because as we've seen over the last few years of kids being left in hot cars, or parents that completely forget the fact that I forgot to take my kid to daycare and then dying. But same thing goes for kids as well, along with pets. Basically, if you have to take something off that you own and you got to put it on the back seat, that means you got one of two problems. One, you're stupid. Two, maybe you should leave your pets home. If you got to put something in the backseat to remind you, okay, I can understand that for like maybe your kid because you're focusing on the road. Like, okay, I can understand maybe you put something valuable in the backseat for your kid. Okay, I give you that. I will give you that 100%. But hopefully you remember to take your kid to daycare before you go to work. but for your animals, please think of your animals in hot cars because they too they don't have a voice. They're not like us people who can say hi, who verbally say hi or that or verbally tell us what's wrong. They express themselves by using body language. You got to be the voice of your animals. You got to be the person that stands up for your animals. You got to be the one that take action for your animals. And if you're not going to do that, then why do you have animals in the first place? And I don't care if you're a dog owner, cat owner, or you live on a farm. But folks, please think of your animals, please. Especially as now we're going towards the spring and into the summer weather as well. So folks, I just want to highlight that. Anything else you want to wrap up with before we hit the concluding line?
No, I'm just, I agree, always make sure, but I am going to say, make sure to have your kids with you at all times. Like, if you're going to go somewhere where a kid can't go with you, get a babysitter or just leave them home with someone who, can watch over them.
Or even better, if you're going drinking, if you're going to go to a bar and not worry about your kids, you're a pathetic parent. I'm sorry, I have to say that. I know this is on a podcast recording, but you're a pathetic parent if you're not thinking of your kids. Like, I have numerous tales from friends that I have listened to who have told me stories about their families, and I'm like, okay, and I'm gonna and I know we talked about pets, but I think the same thing can apply with kids here as well, and I think you can agree with me here. And I'm gonna close it out by this final thought. If you're a parent and you're planning on going to a bar or you're gonna go get drunk, A, think of what you're doing. B, think of your pets along with your kids, because really, it's not right for your kids to see you in a role that is not good parenting. And I say that because I have listened to a good friend online, which I'm not going to name for reasons, but I have listened to their story, and I have basically turned around and I said, listen, I agree with you, I feel bad for you, and if I had the resources, I would try my best to help. But I don't. But I try my best to give advice. That's the best way to do it. And folks, I'm going to end this because we're out of time. So I'm going to wrap this up by basically saying one last statement, and that's basically, think of your pets, think of your kids, think safe, be smart, enjoy the weather, and we will catch you on another episode, folks. Be safe, and we will catch you soon, folks. Have a good one from my friend Metagog and myself.
Have a good one, but don't have a good day. Have a great day.
Right. Have a perfect weekend.
Yes.
See you all next time.
Goodbye.